Hey guys, welcome to Penfold Gaming for a new series of Planet Zoo. This has just been released today on Steam if you'd like to pick it up. You may have seen that it's been in beta for a little while, but the game's been released today, so we're going to jump right in and have a look at the career, do the first steps, go through the tutorial and see how we get on, guys. So we've got a Goodwin house. This is included. Well, this looks to be the tutorial. Right. So Bernard Goodwin's in 1980s. Goodwin House has since become one of the most respected zoos in the country. Right, let's jump straight in. Don't forget, guys, to hit that subscribe button as always. Leave a like on the video. I'm hoping the music's not too loud. Oh, there we go.
Ah, heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Blanco language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets.
Dear.
As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you into the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But
wow.
I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Awesome.
Hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on.
Oh, great.
But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals. We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Okay. Right then. So, objectives. Right, so that was the beginning. So for bronze, locate the grizzly bear habitat, so which is going to be this one, I guess. Enter grizzly bear's animal camera. Locate the West African lion habitat and locate the empty habitat. So,
did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year?
Wow.
Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too.
Yeah, that would be very nice. So,
select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Okay, so is he taking a dump?
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel?
Okay. Well, there we go.
See now, this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals. You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it.
Oh, they look very pretty.
Okay,
There is
when you're
just
ready,
show me his
let's pop
bum.
over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Okay, let's go and have a look where these are then. So if you marked them, let's go over here. I must admit it's very smooth.
Panthera leo, all the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride, although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome, which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
Okay, right, so we've done that. Locate an empty habitat, right. So, he's directing us to where we need to go, so.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something. Well, two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Okay, so, animal trading section down the bottom here.
There we are, a pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Adopt from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works.
Okay, that's
The
great.
last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
Oh, well, you know. So, what we've got on here then, I'm not sure what a lot of these symbols are as of yet. So female, male obviously, it gives you the age of the animal. I'm not sure what this star is for. Might have to see what that is. Oh well. So we need to adopt these, so adopt.
When you adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade centre, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat,
Okay.
which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
So, stored animals. So, I'm guessing we do that. Has that been scheduled? Relocating, yeah, looks that way.
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade centre's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Where are they then? Oh, they're over here.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible.
Right, you gotta move on.
Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat. But I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health.
Oh, there we go. Someone-
Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each
Wow.
animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment.
I'm surprised they're still alive. They're
Luckily,
throwing them
if
like
you
that.
select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information. Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To
Okay.
do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
Right, so habitat. We've got it set to all at the moment. So, food through small. So, if gates are over here, this is probably best having it around here, maybe. I could probably put one on each side, maybe. And some food. I want to put this so people can actually see. People are actually going around now, look.
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll
yes.
around in.
Oh, look, they're coming to
That
fill the
bath
water
will
up.
count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
So, entertainment. So that automatically came up there anyway when I unlocked it, so you got on the mud bath. Ooh, right. Let's put this over here. I think.
Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, Our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a pharaoh state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
Near the hippos. Okay, right, so it doesn't look like me to do any more on that at the moment. So let's go over here, shall we?
Oh, before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause the game. Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner. Ah, that's more like it.
Okay.
A quick break. Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built. Okay. Job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier.
Okay.
Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
So I'm guessing it's going to be this. It's not directed me, but it's probably best to have it. Should we have it that side or should we have it this side? Oh, here. Outside placement area. Oh, it's telling me to put it over here. Oh, I've got to put it over that.
Right. Let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
Okay, so I've clicked on the red brick, and you can see down here, like Planet Coaster, you get all the additional options of adjusting the brickwork. So I suppose really I should be putting windows in, but it's not told me to do that yet, so because no one's going to actually be able to see.
Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment.
Right, guys, sorry about that. Game just crashed, so I've had to, luckily, it saved where I got to. So I just need to just do this section again with the gate. There we go.
Right, let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
It's never a good start, is it, to have a game crash?
Remember, before
Hopefully
you
don't
can
do it
place
again.
animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
Sounds great. So barriers, glass. Oh, there we go. Right. Oops. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So I highlight a section of the barrier and click the glass barrier to swap it. So, yeah. So if I do that, how do I? Is that okay? Right. So how do I confirm that then? Clearly not like that. Oh my god, grief. If I enter? No. Oh, whoa, whoa. That's not what I wanted to do, but that's quite handy. So how do I confirm that then? And press escape and gets rid of it. Oh my grief. This is definitely not doing what I want it to do. Yeah, I don't. Oh my good grief! Is it because it's not in the area? So I selected that. Now what do? How do I confirm that? Press escape. It gets rid of it. Oh my god! Simplest things. Alright. No. No, that's adding plus into it. Why is there no icon on here? Oh my word, I'm stuck on this already. Right guys, crashed again, I apologise, so I'm going to try and put the glass in.
There we go.
There we go.
Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't.
Well, yeah.
The last
I'm
thing
not
we
happy
need
because
to
it keeps
do
crashes
is to
in.
add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point.
Right.
Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them. Now, before we adopt our ostriches, you should click the play button. After all, if the game's paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the ostriches, eh? By the way, as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up by clicking on the fast forward button. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster.
Well, thank you.
It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to a habitat. Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish. All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think? Let's get 4 of them in here.
Right. I'm just going to quickly save this, guys. Just because I've got no trust in this. I could probably best to find out what the control is. Just quick save, maybe. If there's anything in here. Probably isn't. There's the general shortcuts. Shouldn't really need to do this though, guys. But I'll just leave it. If it crashes, it crashes. Right, so I need to go to animal trade now. There's our ostriches. So we need to get 4 of them. So it's just a matter of getting these. I'd still like to know what these symbols mean. Some kind of points for something. I'm not sure. So adopt. I need to get all these, don't we? So, waiting in trade centre. Right, there we go. So, plonk these in here. I do apologise, guys, if you can hear fireworks going off. Obviously, it is bonfire night tonight. So yeah, right. Let's get all these plugged in here.
While we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
And I wanted to put some more water, some more glass in actually. I'm gonna put this down here because I want to put some more glass over there. I'll put a food. Why is that? Oh, there's the bronze ward done, guys.
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs.
There you go.
Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour? Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Well, Bernie certainly seems
them boxes.
impressed. Did you do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals.
Okay.
So they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
Right. Let's do it, guys. Just going to do it just to be safe. So that was the bronze section bit. Now we're on the silver. So we all the keeper huts, the facilities. Got a Planet Zoo keeper hut, small, classic keeper hut. Let's go with this one.
You'll need to rotate the keeper hut to get it to connect up to the path.
Yeah, is that gonna got it the right way? No, I've not got it wrong way there. Oops. There we go.
This keeper hut only has space for one keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh,
Okay.
but bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests. Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness.
All right then.
Negatively. In case that wasn't.
Okay, guys, it crashed again. So I kind of got it back to a section where I was before. So I was planting stuff in here. So we needed Asia. Whatever. So are these? Right. Okay. These want Africa. So. We've got a mixture, I think. So, wow, that's a big tree. They are big, very big indeed. So let's put a few more of these around here. I don't know if this is open or not, to be honest with you, but. It don't seem to be going up at all, does it? But, so animal needs more long grass. So if we try and put a bit more of this in over here. I'm just going to save it again, guys, because I must admit I'm getting a little bit peed off of it. I'm going to have to have a look at it after this video. So less soil, and more long grass. But what do these need? Needs less soil. Okay, yeah, so we could probably go ahead and definitely get more of this long grass in here. Hopefully this is going to help. Oh, this bit over here. So that's gone up. How are we doing over here? 85% still. So that must have helped with them. Still need less soil. Wow. Get rid of all this soil then, shall we? I think we're going to need it. Cover all this area here where you can barely see it anyway. Right, so so that's gone up. Needs less soil. Let's put in more long grass over here. Pretty much you don't need any soil at all, looks of it. Oh, I've just gone too much with that now, haven't I? There we go, right. So hopefully that's helped with them, but I don't know if it's going to pee the other ones off. Soil, yeah, that's fine. Still at 86%. Right, let's go back into zoo. Let's have a look at these tortoises. Right, zoom into the heel. See what they need then. So they need more hiding area, but they need more long grass. And less sand, I guess. Needs more sand. Oh, need more sand. Let's get this brushed down a little bit. There we go. Right. There's more long grass. Can we make this bush smaller? Yeah. There we go. There we go. So that's awesome on that. And then we need a hard shelter. We've not built anything. So yeah, I'm gonna just save it once again. I know you probably prefer seeing this, guys, but there we go. Right. Okay. Facilities. Oh wow. Habitats. We need beds and shelters. Food. I can research these species. What would it come under though? So if we maybe do a search up here, let's have a look what comes up. Tortoise. Big ball. I don't know, we'll just plonk these down. I don't think they'll want to play with a ball, to be fair, do you? Right, we'll put a sprinkler over there. That's going up a little bit. Still need a shelter. Metal basic shelter. This is a bit big, isn't it, really, for a tortoise. Wow, massive. I suppose you're going to have to build something on your own. Habitat, bedding, extra large. Okay guys, it crashed again and I've had enough of it now. I do apologise. I'm going to try and fix the issue off camera and I'll be back once I've fixed it to continue the career mode. If you're enjoying these videos, please leave a like on the videos and make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon guys. Thanks for watching.